Hi everybody, I'm about to try a really crazy, ambitious makeup tutorial, so join me whether it's good or not. Here we go. Okay, so the good news. I'm going to see Rocky Horror tomorrow for the first time since college, 20 years ago. So it's a movie and there's live actors in front of it. It gets pretty rowdy. But I'm a completely different person 20 years later than I was back then. I was even more neurotic back then, believe it or not. And I decided, since I know more about makeup now, I'm going to attempt, you probably guessed it, the Dr. Frank-N-Furter makeup that Tim Curry wore, we'll just say during his entrance as that character, because I don't even think I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube. It's a great song. So, you might see some glitter on me. I tried to get glitter eyeshadow off from work. Because the bad news is, this is tomorrow, and I haven't tried the makeup yet. And I'm only gonna have about an hour in full in my house from walking the door to walk out with the Dr. Frank-N-Furter makeup on. I'm trying to do an homage to the outfit. I don't have a wig. That's also bad news. So I think I'm just gonna put my hair up in a bun. I may pull some tendrils out and curl them really curly. I wish I had a puffy wig, but I'm a government employee on furlough. No money. Literally $0 an hour right now. So no curly wig. I have fishnet stockings. I'm not wearing a garter. They go all the way down. I'm just gonna wear black shorts with a cool, like, zippery thing. And these fishnets go up, like, thigh high, I think. So, like, they're kind of gonna look like they have a garter at the top. I'm gonna call it an homage, not an exact thing. I don't have a corset vest. You don't want to see me in a corset anyway. But I'm gonna wear a tank top. I don't have gloves that match it. His gloves in that scene match the corset. But I think I'm just gonna wear fishnet, like, gloves. I might wear, like, a cuff underneath of it to make it look a little more solid. But the only gloves I have that are black that are solid are, like, silk black gloves that are, like, you know, the fingers all cover and everything too. And I think that's not gonna look quite right with the vibe. I also, my grandparents used to buy me pearls because they were in. And I held on to them for sentimental reasons. And oh my god, if my grandma knew what her pearls were about to experience. I love it, love it, love it. Can't wait to wear these tomorrow, actually. I'm also not wearing matching shoes to his outfit. I have big chunky black heels like that, but I have to walk through the city a little bit. I'm already gonna be wearing fishnet stockings. Like, I'm gonna need mace. I'm going with a friend, and I think I'm gonna wear my big black coat over it because he does come in a big black cape anyway. So it's gonna be like 40 degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow night. But walking in those heels when you're trying to, like, yeah, I think we're sitting in the theater, but I don't know, things get rowdy, so we might be standing, and I'm not standing in heels. So I'm gonna wear black flats. I know, but I just, practical. I've been there, done that, in heels like that. So the outfit's gonna look a little wonky, the hair's not gonna match exactly, but the makeup is actually not that complicated, she says before she tries it. It's not gonna be as perfect, but perfect is kind of a little bit cartoony and off anyway, so I think we're gonna be okay. He doesn't wear earrings in that outfit, it doesn't seem. I really wish I had a wig. Okay, the next question was about the face color, especially in that scene. Does he, without looking, you might have already seen the video, but does he have white face paint on? Top of your head, comment below. I remember him in white face paint. When I looked up pictures, though, I couldn't tell if maybe it was just a really pale foundation. I'm typically light skin tone, a little darker than fair, but some people, like, their skin tone is almost white. But when I looked at full length photos of him, especially in that first scene, it was clear he had some kind of at least white-ish color on his face, Google also says that there was some kind of base white face paint or grease paint or like at least a very, very pale foundation. I don't have a near white foundation, but I do have white face paint. And I really needed to know because this is probably going to take the longest of all of it. So if I didn't need to do this, then that would be a lot easier. But I'm going to use this, and I'm just not going to worry about it being like opaque, like geisha, you know, opaque. It's just going to be a layer. It's not blended into his neck or anything. Like it's pretty paint-like. I was going to use like a makeup-y spongy thing, but instead I grabbed a new sponge, like beauty blender style, that has a straight edge on it. I think that's going to cover more of my face anyway. So I did wet it, and this is water activated face paint. So for some reason I cry. It's going to come off, but it doesn't take much to activate. I'm just going to actually squeeze the sponge a little bit into it. This I got from Amazon, and I'll put everything below. I have some concealer on from work today. Like I said, I do have, like, you might see some remnants of some glitter as well, but I may wear concealer tomorrow, but I'm not going to have foundation on underneath. So I'm just going to start, and knowing that it's kind of light, this is going to take so much less time than this little sponge. This is a water spray. This is great when you use the face paint for like graphic liner and stuff too. I'm not going to worry about it being real opaque. I do want it to be fairly even. What does he do under the eye? He brings it up all the way. So I probably won't need concealer for this makeup look, but I will need it for work probably. So I do have like a very white concealer. I wonder if maybe that's what they did. It looks very even, like the kind of texture it has. I mean, even though this was what, the 70s, like they'd still be able to blend makeup really well. So this is too much. So I'm not gonna need to add as much tomorrow. I think I'm really gonna go for pretty sheer, but I do want it even, and that's why I kept dipping back into it, because I'm like, well, this is not even. Now as this dries, it's gonna dry a little more sheer, just knowing from experience. But I'm gonna try to sheer it out a bit more as well. Also, it's just really not blending well. I may have to put more water actually. Now, as I blend more products on my face, this is gonna sheer out as well. So like, this is fine for now. I'm not gonna worry about bringing it under the eyebrow or anything because we have a whole bunch of stuff to do up there. And the hairline, I was like, oh, what did they do for the hairline? And then I looked and I'm like, duh, the wig. Or is that his real hair? I don't know. He has hair falling over it. So I'm not gonna be wearing this headband tomorrow. Ooh, see, as soon as I touch it, it's gonna do that, but that's okay. This is the practice run. I want to do it well for the sake of the video and everything. I'm gonna spray a little water on this and try to, I can always touch it up later, I guess, but kind of just move the product back to that spot that I just cleared out. Okay. And I'll just make a mental note for tomorrow that I don't need as much as I think I need. More water, less paint. So this will need to dry as well. Let's look at the eye stuff. Black on the eye and a little bit of like a grayish kind of bluey tint. Drag queens will often glue their eyebrows up with a glue stick and powder over it and then draw brows on higher up. Luckily, and part of the reason why I picked this is that he doesn't do that. He has his brows just dark and then he draws brows on, but he just draws it right over the existing brow. So I'm just going to use eyeliner to draw a brow on. I'm really nervous about that, but I'll do it in stages. The rest is just a dark lid and eyeliner and waterline. So I've got like every black eyeliner I probably have more. Yeah, I have like 4 more, but these are going to get me through. There's a Stila black eyeliner that does best in my waterline. Like, it doesn't start to smear out. So even though I'm going to take this off in a few minutes, I'm going to use this on the waterline. See how dark that is? It can be a little messy because we're going to outline the rest of it with the other stuff. And I can make it as thick as I need to because he also has more eyeliner underneath of that. All right, I'm gonna use eyeshadow to thicken that and bring it down a little bit. For black, I've been using this You Can Be palette. It's also the same brand as the face paint, actually, as just a tried and true black, just dark black. I thought I might, if I had time, try to use a black cream eyeshadow, which will be a little darker, but you know what? Let's go for time here. 14 minutes at the moment, but I'm explaining a lot of it. This is way too pale, I think, but that's fine because I can always sheer it out. So I'm just gonna take a brush shaped like this into the black and do the whole upper lid. I don't think he has false lashes on, which is good. That'll save time as well. Now this is not looking as pigmented as I was hoping, but it'll get there, trust me. And then I may need to blend it out with a white, which will be fine. Again, it's going to be messy. I'm just going to put it on, and then we're going to tweak it. That's really powdery, though. Oh, I have so much glitter. Can you see that? Oh gosh, this is looking so not like Dr. Frank-N-Furter. Oh my god. The lip is really going to do it. That's really going to pull it in. Okay. So I think he might even have a line drawn on the lid that really makes it a sharp edge. I'm not going to do that in my crease. Instead, he has like a bluish gray that's blended from this up to the eyebrow. In different pictures, it's kind of a different color. I'm not going to deepen up the bottom yet. There's a lot of fallout. Oh, you know what? I might do the eyes before the face paint. There's a lot of like black powder now down here. I can easily pick that up and put more white down. That's why I'm doing this today. I was like, I better practice it because I don't know. So instead of this one for the bluish gray, I have a ColourPop Blow and Smoke palette. When I did a look with this palette, it turned into a very steely gray. Oh gosh, this is bothering me. It turned into a very steely gray smoky eye. So I'm gonna take an eyeshadow brush that's like fluffy. I may have to mix some things, but this color here is called Slated. Let me make sure it's pretty gray, but I think it'll be okay. I do not need much because there's not much space between that and my eyebrow. I think this might be too dark, actually. Let me try mixing it with that stone face color. Oh, that did it. That did it. Okay. See how much more gray now? Instead of like diluted black, now it actually looks gray. So I'm just gonna dip those two colors in together. There we go. And again, just very messy. I'm gonna blend all the way up to my eyebrow. This is, you know, what I'm seeing in the picture and trying it for the very first time. Yeah, definitely gonna do, oh my god, definitely gonna do the white afterwards. Okay, I'm gonna take more of this lighter color and try to lighten up in between because it doesn't look much different from the black right now. I'm also gonna deepen up the black. I didn't want to use the black in here, but for today, since it's just right here, I'm just going to use it and I'm just going to pat it to try and make it more opaque. Yeah, see, I just don't like many black eyeshadows that aren't the first one I showed you. But that lighter gray really like went everywhere, so I'm just going to pat the black. And I think I'm not going to have much time to do this, but I'm going to have to like just really blend it until it looks ridiculous, because that means I did it right. I think I've achieved that right now. I definitely feel ridiculous, but I've got the right colors in the right places. I'm gonna take a flat edge, straight edge, whatever. What do you call this? Why can I not think of words today? Do you see this? I just use this black right now and just pat that under the eye to thicken that lower eyeliner. I'm probably not gonna film it tomorrow, but we'll see, because I'm not gonna be able to talk about it while I'm doing it. I'm gonna have to do it in a rush. I'm gonna stamp, again, I'm not gonna use this black tomorrow, but I'm gonna stamp some of that on the top line as well. It looks pretty ridiculous. I'm just gonna wipe off this graying brush over here. And you can see the mirror here. I'm just gonna blend these together. Since my eyebrows are quite dark, and I just kind of shaped them a little bit, I might be able to get away with not even doing them, which will save me time. It doesn't really even matter the shape because it's going to be blended up to the brow anyway. But it's like a dark grayish brown, so I'm going to use this Wet n Wild brown kit. I'm going to use this darkest one to just like fill it in, because I think if there's white in there, it's going to show. I'm going to really draw it in right now and just kind of, if it goes too much, that actually looks more like it. If it goes too much right now, then that's fine. I don't want to do that tomorrow and then not be able to change it. I do have some brow wax in there right now. Maybe that's why they actually look like a shape that I like. Also, he has very square contour along the inside of the brow down to the nose. I just drew a line in it. Oh my god. I gotta take this off around the eye. I'm messing it up anyway. These are the wipes I'm using. I like the Neutrogena wipes, but they're not cruelty free. The brow above it. I don't think I can just draw it in with like what I'm shaping the brows to be. No, my brows are not even. Oh my god. If I just look at you, they're so not even. He doesn't really have blush or anything from what I can tell. It's just contour. Now, Tim Curry has a much more chiseled face than me. He has, like I said, drawing up from the nose, he has the brow meet the contour. Well, at least meet the same shape as the contour. So it's very square. So it's a very like blunt front. I want to kind of block it out with something before I draw it in, because it looks like a liquid eyeliner that he used as a brow pen, and I have a very pigmented one, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to like wiggle the shape much, so I want to get that down. Okay, I'm going to put this on. I have to. I'm going to use a lip liner later, but like, this is the perfect shade for this. It's just gonna be a bit messy. Okay, now I really look ridiculous, but if I use the brow product to mark off the spot, it's gonna be hard to erase, but I can't use concealer to draw it in because I look like this. I'm gonna use the black face paint to block it out, and then I can just erase it really fast if it sucks. I have a very tiny straight edge brush. It's kind of almost the size of a brow brush, but it's a little bit more. So, actually I did need this water again. I'm gonna spray it in the black. It's literally just like a line drawn across. He might even have connected it and then just swiped down the middle. It's messy when you zoom in on it. It's messy. So I'm gonna follow the bridge of my nose and put that mark right there. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side and try to make them even. Wow, trust the process, man. This is rough. I'm gonna draw the line similar to how he has it, and then I'm gonna bring the brow up to it, because his goes in a little bit and then curves over the whole thing. Actually, that's perfect. I'll never be able to do it again. That's the problem. And I'm not wearing this to work. As much as I would love to do that. In, and then curves out. I would just use this face paint like as the final look, but I think it might smear. So it's a one size eyeliner, and this is what's scaring me, is that the tip is kind of big. That's what she said. Oh, I didn't realize that it's not just the top of it that goes in and then over, it's the bottom of it too. It is not very thick. Okay, I went in, I'm just gonna do that. And then I have to remember to go over the other one. This is kind of difficult to work with, and that's kind of why I haven't gotten familiar with it. Okay, it's just very solid black, and his brows literally look like just a swipe of liquid liner. Okay. That didn't suck as much as I thought it would. And it's definitely blacker than his brow. He and I have a similar hair color, I think, so at least we got that going for us. But I can always bring the brow up to it. His are thinner than this, but that's okay. What I'm drawing right now is thinner than this. And they do, yeah, they do taper, but they do go all the way to the edge. And of course, I just screwed up the tip of it. Oh gosh, it's hard because I'm like covering it with this. I may have to clean it up a little bit. See how this is blunt and this is a little more like tapered at the end. Oh gosh, I don't like this shape. I told you I wouldn't be able to match it. Oh jeez, okay. I think I should bring the brow color up. It has been 30 minutes. Okay, so he has a line of that blue-gray straight down, actually. I think he swiped it off after and just put it over top of everything. But what we're gonna do is just fill in the space between the brow and that drawn-on brow. Starting to see the vision a little bit here. Obviously, see how like much farther out this brow comes than my actual brow, so I've gotta either fill that in or make sure the blue-gray comes up. I think I might actually do both. Okay, we're about to see if this comes off easily. Not great. I don't have time to mess with it tomorrow, although it's only been 30 minutes, so I'm nowhere near done though. All right, it's a little more tapered. It may be a back and forth thing where I'm like touching up the white and then touching this back up. So that square brow, I think that helps put the vision together a little bit here. And I'm not gonna worry about the front right now. I'm telling myself as I'm worrying about the front. So I can do them thinner and probably closer down to my brow. I'm gonna take the gray that I have and try to blend it out to the front a little more. And actually his liners, you know, this is falling out a little bit. This goes all the way, it like rounds out to the end of the brow and then comes up and does a straight down thing. I'm gonna tap a little more of the dark gray on actually, so that I can color it out to this. I'm gonna go past the brow for now because I think it'll be easier to just draw that straight line right through the makeup instead of trying to go back and forth in that spot at least. Oh, Tim Curry, how did you do this? Okay, I'm missing something with the eye. I'm gonna put mascara on. I have mascara on, I don't know where it went. Let me try to touch up this white because I need to put contour over it. He has a black lip liner on in that scene as well. I try not to use the same black eyeliners. I just use a black eyeliner as a black lip liner. Actually, I have a black lip liner. I could use it. I think I need a little dab here. This is gonna be very messy by the end of the day. Okay, what was I talking about? Okay, yeah, he has a black lip liner in the scene, and I often use an eyeliner as a lip liner, but I make sure it's a different one, or I like scrape it down before I transfer that, because you can have issues going between your lip and your eye different bacteria and different, you know, whatever. I'd put the pearls on, but I need the wig. I need the wig. I also need to go much lighter on this white here. Okay, I think I'm doing it. It's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. Also, I'm not Tim Curry. He has a much crisper line on the bottom. Mine has fallen out a little bit. I also didn't use the powder that I normally use. I don't know what it is about this black in here that just, it's more powdery. So that's not gonna happen hopefully tomorrow. The line's gonna be a little thinner. I'm gonna draw a straight line from the brow down and get the dark makeup off and make it a straight line. And then I'm gonna put more white up there. Ugh, maybe I should have used, oh, I have the other side of the sponge, duh. Or I could use that little one for this area up here. This is me figuring it out in real time, y'all. So like, give me tips in the comments because Halloween is next week and I would totally do this again. I was excited. I've actually wanted to do this for a while. I was excited to see that it wasn't that complicated of a concept. It's just executing it that like is the hard part, obviously. Okay, I need the wig so bad. Maybe I should wear my hair down. It's really long though. It's really long. Should I just zhuzh it up a little bit and make it like teased out? Then I look like the Joker. This is not Tim Curry. What should I do? Should I like wear it up here? I look really stupid. Okay. I don't know what to do. I can't get a wig. Certainly not by tomorrow. Okay. I look like the Joker, but I need it to like come down and like cover my ears. I'm gonna do the contour in a minute, but let me see if I can do a little bit of lip liner. They overlined his lips a little bit, but it doesn't look, this is just a pencil. I got like a cheap set of 12 of these on Amazon, so I don't really need it sharp for a lip line, but I don't know what it last touched, so I'm just gonna sharpen it a teensy bit. It never really gets perfectly sharp anyway. And then I'm not great at lip liner. I just got red on the sponge and then it's gonna distribute it everywhere. I picked up a tip online though to do it after your lipstick to get good at the shape that you want it to be. This lipstick is also very smeary. So I'm gonna touch up the lip, but I might as well do the lip liner while the color is on, and then, you know, I can always go bigger from there. So I'm gonna do underneath first. Okay, I'm much better at underneath. Okay. Depending on where he is in the song, it's kind of smeared anyway. There's a picture of him looking over the shoulder that like the black and red is very mushed up. I'm worse at the top, and it's breaking apart where I like sweat a little bit up there. I have a very bowed top lip and it's hard to get them even, but hopefully if I overline a little bit, I can just fill in the lipstick. I don't want to get it way like clown mouth over. I mean, come on. But I'm gonna overline just a touch, especially in the middle. Gotta stop talking. Okay, I'm not gonna go down to the corners on the top. See, like my two sides of my face are definitely different shapes. So if I follow the lip line, it's actually not even. This is actually going on really smooth for a really cheap pencil. It's hard to make it look perfectly messy. I really need a wig. The wig would just pull it all together. Now the black, I can blend out a little bit with the lipstick or just my finger to make it less sharp. He doesn't have much lip liner showing. Depends on the angle. So if I go over the black with the red, it's not gonna matter much. This is gonna be very smeary, but I think it will leave some pigment on. I wish I had a wig. Okay, contour. He has some very brown contour. I usually use like a gray. It almost looks more like bronzer. It's very precise here. So I think what I want to do is use a smaller brush. I usually use kind of a foundation brush for contour. Definitely need this one for the nose. I have a very icy gray, like paler contour. I got it from Amazon ages ago. I'm going to try this on the nose. Right from the tip of the brow down. Okay, it looks darker in the camera, but it doesn't really look dark enough to me. So I wanted to start light. You know what, I do have a very white concealer. This I got from a yard sale just to try it. I might have to do white concealer down the middle of my nose because I don't know how I'm gonna precisely get white back on there. And this isn't dark enough. So next, I'm just gonna try a product from e.l.f. that has an applicator that will put it where I want it. So hopefully it's dark enough. He also has like a inner liner thing. Instead of like a big wing out, he has one a little bit in, but I can always do that pretty easily. It's very well blended, but in this photo of him, I can see exactly where it's at. I don't want too much. This tends to blend out very quickly, but okay, see how that made my nose more square? I think I'm just gonna have to overdo it and maybe go in with that contour. So for my nose, he kind of really just has a line, and you know, if you watch a lot of like Drag Race or something, you know, or you know, drag queens, like it tends to be very much more stark lines. I'm gonna try to blend it out into like this little triangle at least, but I think that's the color we want. And then here, now he has a much more square jaw than me, but I'm just gonna draw it. I look like a skeleton. Maybe that was the point. He has it like right under the cheekbone, right in here. I don't want to buff it in because it's pretty stark. I think it's gonna be recognizable if I'm at a Rocky Horror Picture Show. Oh my god. Ooh. I can never get my contour the same shape either. Like, I want to blend it out a little bit, but not with that big of a brush. I usually use for bronzer. It's a little smaller than okay, this will do it. It'll get right in that pocket there. I could also use it up here. Does he go down to the tip? No, he kind of lets the white make the triangle at the bottom. Okay. I think he does some under the chin as well, which clearly I need. So I'm gonna make ugly face and then I'm gonna do the contour. Normally this just kind of disappears, but I think over top of the white, it'll show. I mean, it kind of just looks like my regular skin poking through. I will hopefully do a better job of blending now that I know what, like, product I'm using. That looks like I have a beard. Bring that down a little bit, I think. Yeah, it just looks like I took the white off. I think the white definitely looks more appropriate for this costume now, though. Instead of that concealer, I'm going to go back in here, and I have, luckily, a triangle one that can really go where I need it to go, and of course I have to blend it out. I always am going to need less product than I need. I gotta remember that, because I can always build it up. Okay, that looks a little silly over here because it's like a triangle instead of a, like, the contour isn't straight here. I guess I could draw it over again. Fun. Oh, it looks really weird. It looks even weirder up close. See how this kind of, like, not blended in, but like it looks less stark white now. I got the contour. I'm not gonna put more mascara on right now. It's barely gonna show up anyway because I've got the black lid. I think his gray is a little lighter, so I can go less hard on the dark gray and a little more into the light gray. The lip, I think, is the perfect color, honestly. My grandmother would not have approved. Oh gosh, this is a really hard clasp. This is very old-fashioned. But, and he has very fake pearls on. I don't even know if these are real. They probably aren't real, but okay, I got the clasp. Yeah, they're not as big as Tim Curry's thing, but it's at least the right, like, choker size, you know, and it's not like a dangling pearl. I think that looks a little more like it now. I wish he had some earrings that I could use to tie it together. I don't have like black fuzzy earrings or something that I could put on. Let me just do this. They're gonna match the leggings, so like, that's fine. I was thinking of maybe putting like a little cuff on underneath of it to make them look more solid. Let's try that on the other side and see how that works. They're lace cuffs, but I can, you know, they look like they cover more. I should probably plan these like longer than the day before. By the way, it has been 50 minutes for me. This is broken, but that's fine because it's fishnet. It's supposed to be like that. I don't know. Actually, I like this. Okay. I don't know. His hair is blacker than mine. Whether it's his hair or the wig, I don't know. There's no way I'm gonna be able to like pin it up as a messy bun. But I could just do messy ponytail and not, like, I usually push this down with like hairspray, but instead I could just kind of tease it out. I don't want to look, I look like the Joker. He doesn't wear lashes, so that's not what's missing. I'm not a man dressed as a woman, so. And I don't have a curly wig, and I'm not Tim Curry. So I can't do one eyebrow. I don't know what's gonna happen with the hair yet, but I'm glad with how this came together. I think I can do it in under an hour, especially now that I have the product set. If the white is messed up, that's totally gonna be fine. I think it's actually good that it's sheer in some places. I can do a thinner brow. It's gonna look a bit different tomorrow, obviously, because it's a different day. Damn, I wish I had a wig. Maybe I'll see if my friend has a wig. Oh, okay. This was super fun. Didn't know if it would come together. Thought maybe it wouldn't. I'm gonna have to like open my mouth in more of a square. And as I'm watching him sing, I might try to make it more like his mouth shape and not mine. But we'll see tomorrow. Oh, I hope it works out. I'm gonna have a blast at the show. I'm not gonna win a costume contest, but you know, hopefully you could kind of see how I followed the lines of his face and created it on my face. That was kind of the point. So thanks for watching this video. I have other makeup looks. I have a drag inspired look, and then I have some like costumey looks, snake looks, plant looks, stuff like that on the channel. I don't know if I recorded the plant one. Anyway, thanks for watching this. I think it turned out okay, considering I had no plan other than I wanted it to look like a character. It's kind of like when you want to dress up as Superman and you kind of look like you're more in like Superman's pajamas. If I can, I'll record some tomorrow, but I think this is going to be the main video for it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a happy Halloween. I have no idea when this is going to be out, hopefully before Halloween. Check out our other videos, do all the things, subscribe, like, etc. I would really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. If it went well, I'll put a picture of it here.
How'd you do? I see you've met my faithful handyman. He's just a little brought down because when you knocked, he thought you were the candy man. Don't get strung up by the way I look. Don't judge a book by its cover.
I'm just gonna wear black shorts. I'm gonna make as much noise as possible and wake up my whole house. Okay, I just looked really washed out for a second. Sorry, I'm looking at a picture right now. What is this called? I got a beauty blender. It's not the actual brand beauty blender, but a sponge that had oh my god. So I got a sponge that had a dull edge? Straight edge. I'm gonna put... My teeth look so yellow. Oh my god, okay. Trust the process. I like the eye look other than going up to the brow. How can I do this? I'm gonna use the black. Come on. That looks like it. Ignore the whole rest of the thing. Okay, I think I gotta make the lip bigger. Anyway. How do I look more demonic than him? Okay.